What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, The Hype, episode 221. Happy New Year, everybody. 2022 is here, and we're ready to talk some more sports cards. We got a lot of great topics today. Obviously, the Fanatics Tops news is on everybody's agenda to talk about. We're going to talk about what we see and what it pertains to some of the future stuff. I mean, we got some good stuff to dissect, some bad stuff to dissect with it as well. We got hoops basketball coming out this week. New licensed NBA rookies from the 21 draft class. We're also going to talk a little rookie card. Bowman's best. A little bit of controversy with Beckett. We're going to talk about that. We got our giveaways. Lots of stuff going down. Mojobreak.com is the website. We're breaking immaculate still. Basketball, which has been hot. Bowman draft is we just can't even keep it in stock. So check out Mojobreak.com where all your breaks are scheduled and guaranteed to fill. We got some big football games this weekend, guys. We're all still in it. We're here. We're still alive. We're not eliminated yet. And man, it's exciting. You're going out to Vegas to see your Raiders?
Boy, it's highly likely at this point I'm going to probably be there. Just thinking about the season that the Raiders have had, and you guys, I was semi joking that I was not going to be a fan anymore. But they're winning again, so I'm a fan.
Wins out.
Well,
I know people are shaking their head out there.
Yeah, I was about to say, what happened here? I thought we fully renounced.
Listen. They
got another DUI.
I know they did.
I know.
Can't be doing that.
I know. With the season that the Raiders have had, and the fact that we're sitting here and they're 9-7 with a chance to go into the wild card, obviously, I would love to see once in my entire life to see my quarterback for the last decade, pretty much, Derek Carr, at least play one playoff game. That's my hope and dreams. So I'm going to be banking on them winning this game on Sunday and then us making it in the wild card and playoffs. And I just want to see what DC can do in the playoffs.
And I think the hobby's against you on this one because they got the golden child, Justin Herbert, on the other side of the field. And I think majority of the people, you guys can comment below, I think the majority of people would like to see Justin Herbert.
No, there's no denying that. From a hobby perspective, sure, yeah, we do want Herbert to advance. But selfishly, as a Raider fan, you already know I'm not going to go against, I want to see Derek Carr in one playoff game in my life. Sherbert, he could be making multiple playoff runs, right? If he's as good as we all think he is, he's going to be making multiple playoff runs in the future anyway. So
you're acting like this is it for Derek Carr.
This is it.
This is it. You're done.
This is it because this is towards the he may be a little bit past his prime, might be in his prime right now actually, and he had an opportunity to play in the playoffs before, but he got injured. I just don't see Derek Carr on the Raiders making another playoff run if we don't do it this year.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I like Derek Carr. He seems like a guy that's hard to hate. He's a very good motivator. But, Dan, on the other side of the field, we got the Rams, Cooper Kupp, maybe breaking records, even though there might be a little asterisk next to that one, but breaking some records for the receiving game. What do you think about his cards, man? Are people going to be scooping up some Cooper Kupp cards?
They have been. You can see the market's actually been doing pretty good on Cooper Kupp for like the last, 3-4 months.
Yeah.
I mean, define the odds, right? Like, usually it's a quarterback-driven hobby. Good to see some, Jonathan Taylor probably getting a little spike in his cards. You have Justin Jefferson last year and this year getting a little spike in some cards. You see Cooper Kupp. So good to see some other people, other positions getting some love.
I thought you were going to say define the odds. Usually a high motor guy doesn't really have those kind of receiving records, but you went that route, which is good. I mean, the Cooper Kupp is doing his dang thing. Debo Samuel's doing his thing.
Never heard of him.
And they meet this Sunday. So Niners need a win. Rams are already in. But
say it again.
Yeah, I know. Niners need a win. Rams are already in.
Rams have not clinched the division, though. They can clinch the division.
They need
weekend,
a win.
Right? They just have to win.
They have to win. If they lose and Arizona loses, Arizona gets it.
All right. So there's a lot on the line here, even with the Rams already.
Difference between the 5th seed and the 2nd seed?
A home game.
A home game.
That's really the difference.
Maybe two home games.
Which for the Cardinals, the way they play at home, maybe not such a bad thing to play on the road.
Well, and I know, I'm sure you guys, because the Cowboys played the Cardinals last week, right? So you're like, okay, well, the Cowboys, they beat Washington 50 to something. So you're like, Cardinals were we're leaking oil basically going into that game, and you're thinking the Cowboys are just going to stomp them, and then the opposite happens.
For being like a 11-4, 11-5, the Cowboys have been very Jekyll and Hyde, right?
Yeah.
Like they've looked at times like they're the best team in the league, offensive and defensively. Then they've looked like they're barely a playoff team.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if either the Cowboys lost their first playoff game or went all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
and won
it's
Both
like
seem
it's
as
either
likely.
or, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to it's almost like they're not going to lose in the NFC Championship game or the second round. They are either going to get knocked out right away, first round, or they're going to make it to the Super Bowl, probably win the Super Bowl.
Well, let's get into some basketball. 21-22 NBA collected season begins. As you can see here on the screen here, Mojobreak Media. Go ahead and hit subscribe. We got Scotty Barnes rookie card and Evan Mobley hoops is here. One noticeable difference: one autograph this year.
And
One.
We saw this. We talked about this a lot.
They made
and
a
we probably
lot.
saw this coming.
They made a lot
We
of
probably
hoops.
saw this coming years previously, where it would get down to one. I don't like that it's only one autograph now,
It's
but
a deal, though.
yeah.
It is. I mean,
it's
'cause-
coming out of what, 250?
250. I think last year wasn't it 1,000? We were on the we were in the same place about the same time
Yep.
last year. And we're like, I can't believe hoops is 1,000. Well,
I don't know about 1,000. I think it was up there.
It was up there.
I think Donruss was 1,000.
Yeah, Donruss.
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Donruss
But I think
came
hoops
out for
is
1,000.
like-
Donruss this year is almost 1,000.
I think a hoops is like $500 to $600 maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, and a good thing about hoops, and we got plenty of breaks of hoops for Friday, which is release day here at Mojobreak.com, is, you're going to get a rookie card of pretty much everybody. So, it kind of kicks off your year of collecting for that new season. And the cards become kind of staples. They're not going to be obviously your Prisms or your Prism Silvers or your NTs or your Contenders, but usually any super collector always has a hoops rookie card. So it's one of those things that it's like flagship tops when it comes to basketball. I think hoops, am I right, is the flagship product for basketball cards.
Yeah, I guess it would be the
maybe
equivalent of a Series
Donruss?
1 maybe.
Donruss and that. Yeah,
Yeah.
this could be the equivalent of a series 1 or
Opening day.
Opening day.
Opening day. Okay.
Opening day.
Okay.
I think I like that comparison because opening day is a product that anybody could it's a good priced product where anybody. Now I'm not saying
I like how
I'm not saying
I like
I'm
how
not
we're
saying 250 is a good price.
$250 for a box.
No,
we're
no.
like, everybody can get involved.
I wish this was a $150 box. I really do. At that price point, it's amazing. It'll be an amazing personal rep right at
I remember
150.
when hoops is like $65.
Exactly. That would be even better. But in this day and age, I think that 150 would really be a sweet price point for this. But at 250, obviously, you have to think about it. So it's not like this product is meant for kids to be able to go in the store and purchase this, right? I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping with the retail flipping game dying down, and people are not getting as much big profits like they're used to. I'm hoping that kids can go into Target or Walmart and buy these blasters
Get a
for
little
$20.
Yeah.
And be able to get their fair rookie, right? So hobby, you're always going to get the hobby exclusive stuff. So hobby's always going to be a little bit more expensive. And I mean, compared to everything else too, $250 is expensive, but it's not as high as what people are probably used to seeing.
Mow the lawn, get a blaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I think my allowance per week, which I was required to mow the lawn and clean up all the dog droppings for the whole week, I think it was about $10. Did you guys have allowances when you were growing up?
Somewhat, yeah.
Did you?
$10 sounds about right.
$10?
Yeah.
And that would be the same thing. It would mow the lawn and go to the card shop and pick up about 5 packs,
Yeah.
I'd say, of
Is what new.
tops.
At what point have they completely off topic? At what point with a can of Coke did they put your daily percentage of sugar intake on the can?
Oh, it's always been on there. I just
No,
don't
I
look
remember
at it.
seeing the grams of sugar, but this one down here is that is 74% of your daily sugar intake in
done
that
it.
one can right there.
Good thing I didn't have any other sugar heading into
I mean,
this.
no, I've never seen the percentage
Yeah,
there
that's
before.
interesting.
Yeah, that's a lot of sugar. Or you could spend your allowance on Coca-Cola too, which I'm sure I did. Actually, Cherry Coke back in the day was a favorite of mine. That was probably a go-to. Cherry Coke.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah, I love Cherry
maybe
Coke.
buying a couple packs of Stadium Club 1991 was what the allowance was spent on. But yeah,
Coke Lime. Coke Lime is good.
That was an interesting one when they came out with that one.
Yeah.
did we have retail? I mean, did we have retail products in box stores when we were kids? I'm trying to remember.
did.
I don't
did.
remember buying.
We-
I don't remember.
we did.
'cause I don't
Actually-
think there was many Targets when we were
Actually,
kids.
that transition was right around when we were in high school.
Kmart was one. I
But
remember
yeah,
Kmart.
but I mean, as far as having a Hoops or a Donruss or a Topps flagship retail SKU and a hobby SKU, that was right around when we were in mid to late 90s,
Gotcha.
90, 95, 96, 97, around there.
Yeah.
And some interesting news about the big Pokemon sale. Logan Paul bought a case of first edition Pokemon for $3.5 million. The sale was made originally, I think, a couple months prior to that for $2.7. The guy did a little flip, made a couple $800,000. And now some expert Poke collectors are saying that they don't believe that his case is legit, even though the case was wrapped by BBCE, which if you're not familiar with BBCE, they are the box and case authenticator. They are the standard. There's actually, I don't even think there's anybody else that does it. So they are the guys that if you're buying any vintage wax and you're buying 86, 87 Fleer and it's wrapped by them, you can kind of feel safe that it was original, it wasn't tampered with. Especially a lot of the old wax. The old wax did not have seal on it. It didn't have a seal. It came without a seal. So people would, pull out those Jordan packs, know where the Jordans were based on the collation, and you wouldn't know if you were getting an original 86, 87, or you wouldn't get any Jordans and it was tampered with. So they went ahead and wrapped this. Now, Logan Paul had been hearing the news about these Poke collectors saying, hey, this might not be real. So I guess he's flying out to Chicago this weekend to talk with BBCE. So stay tuned on that news. This is a big deal. If we have a $3.5 million fake, I don't know if we've ever had anything as expensive that could possibly be fraudulent that I've heard in the industry.
It's newsworthy.
Very newsworthy.
I think it was only a matter of time, the way things were going, that with all of these huge sales of trading cards, sports cards, something was going to come up where someone was going to lose, an insane amount of money, like, $3.5
Now, are we
million.
thinking that the case is fake or is it been tampered with?
It sounds like, so shout out to, I think it's PokeBeach.com. PokeBeach, which is the biggest online community for Pokemon trading cards, collectors and enthusiasts. They do a super, super in-depth look at what exactly happened. It looks like maybe it was a fake all along, not even tampered with.
Okay.
That the original eBay listing was very suspect, and then that was sold. The packaging was not numbered as the first edition base set packaging would have been numbered during that time. So there's a lot of things that make you raise your eyebrows. A lot of the collectors who do this all the time were basically not even touching it. And I think there's if this were to be real, there's still a chance, then this would be, I think, the second known case out there that was not that was still sealed. So I recommend, if you guys are interested and want to go down the rabbit hole, Poke Beach is the place to look for more.
Yeah,
I got some
information
cases
about
I can hold on to the current
Well-
product. Is it going to be worth $3.5 million?
it. Just a little bit under, I think.
Yeah, you and 150 million other people that have cases of it. But I mean, it's kind of interesting because the guys that are involved, and Shine 150 was the guy that sold it to Logan Paul. If you don't know, look for him on Instagram. His card collection is insane. He already said, it's literally that. I don't think anybody has a better modern card collection than Shine. But he already said that if it is deemed a fake, he will give Logan Paul the money back. So at least there's that. But I think this is what happens when these sports guys. I mean, because the other guys involved were also sports card guys. Not enough people knowing what to look for involved in this. And then I believe allegedly BBCE even said, haven't seen too many of these. So this is a thing where, nobody really knew what they were buying and they bought it anyway, right? So it's like, it's hard because there wasn't many 90, like you said, there's only one other case left in existence.
It's
nothing to compare it to.
How about if Logan Paul just rips it? He'll know right away if it's fake or not.
In my head, I'm like, if there's been only one other confirmed sealed case out there that anybody even knows about, how was BBC able to confirm this and wrap it?
It's a good question, Conrad.
Yeah. Well, and it's actually, I was somebody on a local Bay Area forum had a PSA 9 first edition Charizard, but I believe it wasn't the Shadowless, but it was still like a valuable card. And they were asking I think they were asking like $13K for it, and it was a little bit below what they would go for. I think they'd go for around $20K, but they were like a meetup type thing. But it was in a PSA slab that had no hologram, and then even on the back there was no hologram. So I was messaging the guy trying to get the backstory on it, and I didn't get a response from him. But I was like, this is a situation where I wouldn't want to buy this because some of the guys chimed in and said, hey, there was a couple years where PSA didn't put the hologram on there, but I'm like, with the non-hologram PSA cases, it's very easy to counterfeit. And I don't think when PSA did that at the beginning, there was anything going for this amount of money. So they obviously got hip to the game, made some holograms, did the lighthouse thing that they have on there now. Very hard to fake now. But there is some cards back in the late 90s that got graded that way that do not have a hologram on there. And it's something that I don't want to touch. And Dan agrees with me. We've come across Jordan sometimes. We're like, I just don't want to buy that because it could be not real.
You know what? This reminds me of something. I don't know if you guys have heard about this yet, but I was on Instagram Live last night. There was a group breaker. He was an older gentleman. It doesn't seem like he's been in sports cards that long, but he definitely knew this guest that he had on. He had Ben Baller on there on Instagram Live. I don't know if any of you guys seen this, but Ben Baller talked about how he has an upcoming collaboration with PSA.
Yes.
And he was saying like how he couldn't really divulge any like super details, but he was saying like it's gonna be like a kind of like a higher end grading thing. What do you guys think that is?
Oh, a higher end grading thing.
Oh, is it gonna bling out the slab?
I don't know.
That's probably what it's gotta be. Yeah. It's gonna be like
make
a
the
premium
slab look
service.
a little nicer.
So maybe if you have a high-end LaMelo, you'd want to pay extra for that service to get.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I was just curious if you guys had heard about that because I was watching them on live and they obviously knew each other for a long time. But this older gentleman, he just started breaking. He was talking about how much fun he was having. You know, obviously, like if you've been away from the hobby for a long time, he said, you know, he hasn't had that much fun in a long time just opening up cards with people and with the community.
Nice.
So
Interesting. Yeah, I saw that too. He promoted that and gave no info. So probably a little bit premature to say what you're going to do if you have no idea what you're going to do. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show, Fanatics and Topps. Fanatics buys Topps, which I think we all knew was coming.
I didn't know it was coming.
I mean, Luber came out on another podcast and said that basically that they're not going to make Fanatics cards. They're not going to use cards that are branded Fanatics. So, I mean,
okay. If I heard that, I would have kind of made the assumption as well, but I didn't hear that.
So, you know, you're not going to buy Leaf. You're obviously probably not going to buy Upper Deck. Panini's probably out of the price range for the investors.
Upper Deck came out multiple times and said that they weren't for sale.
Right.
So you kind of were like, okay, it's probably not Upper Deck. I think all of us were talking and we're like, it's got to be either Topps or Panini. And Fanatics is probably in talks with both Topps and Panini and using them as leverage against each other.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
and I was going to say, since the deal's not up for a few more years, they have time with Panini, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. The immediacy of the baseball license is first, right? So the baseball license becomes first. Well, who has a baseball license now? Topps, right? And Topps is going to be running out of the baseball license, so they had to make a decision. Now, allegedly, the deal was $500 million.
It said north of $500 million.
North of $500 million. Some industry people that I've talked to believe that it's a lot higher than that. Because Topps' overall sales, I think, for the year were over that. For 1 year, they did
million.
Yeah, they did 700 million sales in 1 year, but then they sold the company for less than their overall sales. It doesn't make a lot of sense
and they
from
were
that regard.
$480 million in debt. 450.
I've heard
million in debt?
conflicting. I've heard 200 million.
420 million. We can let's just throw out numbers here. 80 million in debt. 150 million in
so
debt.
Could the deal have been just we'll wipe out your debt plus 500 million, and so the net worth net is going to be 500 million? I guess,
could be,
right?
Yeah, very well could be. I mean,
well, they bought it in what 06 for 480,
something like that. Yeah, 06, 07.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe there's a bunch of people. Obviously, Michael Eisner's the most well-known name, but it's not just him. There's a bunch of other investors involved in it, and they've been taking money out of the business too, like any investor would. They take money out to put it in something else and stuff like that. So that's how the debt accrued. But it just seems like $500 million just seems cheap, you know, for what they did. I mean, they also gave up the racing licenses now. I mean, the Formula One is now
UEFA,
the Star Wars, all their entertainment brands. I think everything moved over under Fanatics except for the candy.
No candy.
So
Ring pops.
Ring pops are gonna either remain. I don't. Who knows? Maybe sold to Mars or whoever is top candy confectioner is gonna go to one of them. So interesting
Willy
news.
Wonka.
Maybe Ring Pops is worth $500 million and we don't even know it.
Could be.
That could be it. They're just sitting on 500 mil with Bazooka Joe and Ring Pops.
It looked like 35% of their gross sales was from their candy division.
Yeah. I thought I saw
that's
25.
a substantial chunk.
I mean, yeah.
I was joking, but
No, yeah,
now
you're-
maybe not.
Yeah, good margin. I think good margin in
I was gonna say it probably costs like less than a penny to make those ring pops, and they sell them for what, $1 or $1.50 or $2, whatever it is.
No idea, man. I haven't had a ring pop since 1987.
Yeah, I love them things as a kid, bro.
My daughters get them, but I guess I haven't really paid attention. I know they're pretty cheap. So
Did you guys have whistle pops?
Oh yeah,
The
dude.
whistle pop, right? And I just always remember the Nickelodeon game shows. If you got like 6th place, like, congratulations, you won a whistle pop.
yeah.
One whistle pop.
And
was your
it
prize.
had-
They were cool though.
Had a little slide in it, right?
Yep. I like them. Yeah. They were awful. Once you like were sucking on it for like about 5 minutes, it would just turn into like little knives in your mouth.
Yeah.
You could stab someone with.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Good candy.
Not
yeah,
as
this
cool
kid.
as the bubblegum cigarettes, but
No,
yeah,
definitely.
those
Bubblegum
you were the
cigarettes.
coolest kid if you caught because it seemed like they were only sold from the ice cream man because it's probably frowned upon to sell in the store. But you buy it as a kid and you blow out the sugar and it looks like you're smoking a cigarette. And
How about the
you're 7 and it looks cool.
How about the shredded up jerky that came in like a chew can?
Yes, and
Like
they had
a-
a baseball card on the bottom sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, that might have been a little after my time. I don't know. I do not remember.
I remember
No,
those.
you don't
No,
remember
maybe vaguely.
the little
Vaguely.
container that had like shredded up beef jerky.
Yeah, what was the brand, dude? I
Maybe,
used to get
yeah.
that all
and
the time.
it looked just like a can of dip.
Good times. They were getting
And
us
it-
all prepared.
Jack's Links does
to
it
get
now.
those cigarettes and that chew,
Yep.
and to shank someone with a whistle pop apparently too.
The whistle pop, man. I gotta get me one of those. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Jack's Links. Jack's Links.
It wasn't,
It was.
and it was kind of terrible.
They do sell that, and they still do sell it in the can like that though, just not for kids anymore.
King.
Jerky stuff.
Yep.
King. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, yep. And then see right there, trading cards.
Yep.
National Football Players Association. Trading cards. Yep. Jerky stuff. That was the
Shredded
thing, dude.
shredded beef right on the can.
And there was a trading card was in the bottom, so you'd have to get through the jerky first or dust off the jerky to get to your card.
You had to dust it off.
Yeah, it was great. It was an experience, man.
Um,
And then you got Big League Chew as well, right? I mean,
League
that
Chew.
was
Yeah.
that was another one that was just like I'm gonna look like I'm Tony
terrible,
Gwynn out
like,
here.
Terrible. I mean, that gum, the worst flavored gum was the fruit stripe.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yes.
That the worst,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Flavor for a second.
Yeah. The next one was the
Big League Chew.
Big League Chew.
But top tier elasticity,
Yes.
bubbles, like
Oh, yeah.
incredible bubbles.
terrible flavor, but great
will,
bubbles.
I will defend the grape Big League Chew.
Grape is pretty good.
I do like the grape Big League Chew. So,
What you would
but you're
do
right.
is that you would
'Cause
do
you
the,
ate- you were
the
eating
Lenny
way more
Dykstra. You would
gum
get
than you
your,
should.
Oh, you would. Yeah.
Get your can of shredded beef, and then you would wrap the Big League Chew around it.
Oh.
Just put that in.
God.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
God.
Ah. Well, I think the problem with
Immediately barf.
I think the problem with the Big League Chew as a kid is that you just kept putting more in.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like a stick where you could be like, you can't put more than one stick in. This is shredded, so you just keep putting more in.
Yeah, you're just chewing way more gum than you're.
And then you're just jaws hurting, and you're like, what did I do? It was, yeah. But I feel like it was all setting us up for vices later in life. So
Man, we went way off topic on one of the most important topics that we've ever had on the hype.
Yeah.
Fanatics
Fanatics
tops?
tops.
It's not that important. I mean, come on. But yeah, I mean, the good thing is we are going to possibly. I mean, we got to assume that we're going to have Topps Chrome basketball, Topps Finest basketball, some of these iconic brands that we haven't seen in a while. Maybe Definitive football comes
Chrome
back.
football.
Chrome football, maybe Bowman Chrome football. So, I mean, it was definitely the right move for them because at some point Topps made a card for all sports. I mean, Topps even did hockey. So, I mean, if somewhere down the line they had a chance to make hockey cards. So, I think it makes a lot of sense. It's the most recognizable card brand name. You basically talk to somebody who's not in the hobby and you ask them if they know anything about cards. They're going to say Topps,
Upper Deck.
Fleer, maybe.
I've
Panini's
always
not
said-
really mentioned
I've always
much.
said, like, in general, Topps is one of the great American brands, right? You think of American brands, you think of Coca-Cola, you think of Ford, you think of Fender, Gibson, and Topps.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I've always, if you were to buy a card manufacturer, they're definitely the most recognizable.
And I think this was the best case scenario for most collectors because like obviously baseball collectors were going through it last year with the Fanatics announcing they had the exclusive license and took it right from under Topps. So I think this is the best case scenario. I'm happy that the Topps branding will be continue to grow and live on for another 70 years. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I mean, it's great. I mean, we'll have to see what happens with the distribution, where it's sold, those details to come. They retained what looks like all the employees for now. Michael Rubin came out and welcomed 350 employees, I believe, to the Fanatics umbrella. So it doesn't look like anybody lost their job, which is, I know when we initially had our first podcast, we were worried about some of our friends in the industry having jobs still. So I mean, what remains to be seen is down the line if they still keep these people around. But obviously, when you acquire a company, you're going to need the expertise of
stability.
You're going to need the expertise of somebody who's running the company right now that does a day-to-day job, right? So, and it's good for them in a way to kind of test it out with baseball before they get into football and basketball.
Yep.
And get the kinks out rather than just coming in 2025 or 2026, which we knew what was going to happen, but have to start making cards for all three brands, and then that would be chaos. You'd probably have customer issues. You'd probably have control issues of trying to get the product out on time and not knowing how to deal with those things. So I'm definitely optimistic on this whole thing. We obviously get product from distributors. We get product from other dealers, and that might change the way we do business. But at the end of the day, if this thing works out to be better for collectors, that's all we can ask for. So, initial thoughts when you heard the news, Dan?
My initial thought is I thought this whole show was going to be you boasting how you called Fanatics getting a license.
No, that was
years ago.
That was
probably 5-6 years ago. You're right. You did it, Doug.
On that? Okay. I did call that, but I mean
you said that Fanatics would definitely be making cards at some point.
Oh, when they start coming out with those collaborations with Panini.
Yeah.
And even when they were at for years they were at the NFL photo shoot. They were definitely like intertwined in the industry already.
They were the only serious player that you could see. So I, as much as I do like to pat myself on the back, that was a pretty obvious one. I mean, not as obvious as this Topps deal that happened. I mean, that was like if anybody who says I predicted that Topps was going to be bought, it's like predicting that it's going to be nighttime at some point in the day. I mean, you know what I mean? It was pretty black and white that was what was going to happen. But
overall, what I think, I mean, it's way too early to speculate how it's going to be distributed, how the product's going to be distributed, how they're going to be made. I think we're going to see a slow transition and a change over the next 2-3 years where Fanatics gets the inner workings the way they want it to go. And who knows what that's going to look like, but it's not going to be something that we're going to see change like overnight.
Exactly.
It's funny. I reflected on this last night and over the last couple days, and I remember we had conversations, and I can't remember the specific person we've had this conversation with, but I say go back in time about 5 or 6 years when we were talking about licensing, and we talked about baseball. People were like, that's a good old boy. Topps and MLB are connected. Good old boy network. They will not ever sell or ever let Topps go away because it's the bond that baseball has. It's Americana. They'll never sell to anybody else. And it just goes to show you, and I'm not saying that Topps slept on what happened, but maybe they got complacent. They didn't grow the business big enough, didn't generate enough revenue, and Big Bank kind of came in and took Little Bank. You know what I mean? Michael Rubin, as much as, he's a influencer, he's a entrepreneur. I mean, the guy started in his bedroom at 16 selling ski equipment, and he's hustled and never stayed complacent, and he's pretty much got the whole memorabilia market, apparel market on lockdown, and now he's worked his way to getting the trading card market on lockdown. So, it's kind of a motivation to, those out there that maybe have companies or that are entrepreneurs to never stay stagnant. Always try to improve. I mean, I think the winner here was the MLBPA when he jumped in and he made the deal with the MLBPA.
I think Topps did a great job. I think the industry got too
quick,
big, too fast, and then you had, companies with deeper pockets that started getting interested in it, and that's when I think if the industry would have stayed, mellow, like didn't have that boom that we had in 2019 going into 2020, I don't think this deal happens.
Yeah. Well, and to give some clarity on what I said, I'm not saying that Topps did stay stagnant because they were doing new things. They improved their online business. I think one of the things that they took a long time to catch up on and was raising their prices, to be honest. I mean, they took a lot lower of a mark. I mean, F1 Chrome, which nobody saw coming, nobody saw it happening, that was a wholesale box for $55. So that means that Topps was probably making $30 or $40 a box. Those boxes are $2,000-$3,000 now. So they were getting the less return out of a lot of the said retailers, said distributors, said breakers. So in a way, I guess you could say they did some of us a favor by not raising their prices. Now, the latest releases this year have gone up, maybe double, but it took them a long time to raise those prices, which they very well could have. So I think there is, from us, maybe from other dealers and people that do that, I mean, thank you for not, for these last couple of years, raising your prices, making it affordable for people to get into breaks or to get boxes in their shop. I know it becomes really hard to get product after a while, but they could have gouged a lot more than they did. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
So now you've got Fanatics who's paying a portion of the players. So they may not gouge, but they're going to have to raise the prices to compensate for the percentage that they're going to have to play the players now.
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, this happened, but there's still a lot of uncertainty. So
Yeah.
it's all speculation at this point.
And it was, and you know, what I said about raising the prices, if you go back 4 years, Topps couldn't sell products. So it's like,
Yeah.
they didn't want to just raise prices probably based on trends either.
Well, how could you?
You
right?
couldn't.
Yeah.
You could not foresee what was going to happen.
The secondary market really is what dictates, obviously, what the product is going to ultimately sell for.
Yeah.
You can't go out of the gate. Like, if they would have came out and they're like, F1 Chrome, $2,000 a box, that would have sat on the site forever. Nobody would have bought it. Nobody would have ripped it.
Right.
The secondary market would have been non-existent because nobody would have opened up the product.
So what drove the F1 Chrome market, you think?
The
Popularity of the sport?
the prices on eBay. People are like ripping a box that they got for $150 and hitting a $10,000 card.
Yeah. But somebody was willing to pay $10,000. Why was somebody all of a sudden on a first-year product?
Yeah, I mean, that I don't. I mean, maybe the popularity of the sport, maybe
Yeah.
the Netflix documentary that they had
There's
going
like
on.
there's a huge international appeal, I think, for that sport specifically that I don't think even, I mean, Topps probably knew exactly what they were doing.
That's why they got into it.
You mentioned the Netflix documentary. I just noticed, like, waking up early the morning that the Lewis Hamilton Max Verstappen like down to the wire race was happening. I go on Twitter at 7 a.m. and people are talking about it.
Right.
That I never knew we were even into this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just really, really popular, and it's like the chance to own the first cards of a lot of these big guys. And
Yep.
yeah, it exploded, I think, beyond our wildest imaginations.
And to that, I think we see the value of the Chrome brand, right? Being the first Chrome product of something that's still growing and that's still popular,
Untapped, right?
untapped, it shows you like how much people are willing to spend for that first Chrome card of said whatever player or sport. So that's why now probably we're gonna talk about it. It's the reason why people are probably like salivating at this point for Chrome basketball and Chrome football to come back.
What's going to be your favorite basketball product to come back if they do for Topps?
I mean, just from I would have to rethink about all the catalog of like. I'm excited for. This is not even an old product. I'm excited for just Dynasty basketball, bro.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Like, people know, like, I'm not a huge baseball collector, but I love Dynasty baseball. Like, since Dynasty football came out in 2015, I was like, that design is amazing. Boom, they put in baseball the next year when they lost the NFL license. I was like, this product is amazing, and I've been rocking with Dynasty. Not Dynasty, my fault.
Definitive?
Definitive, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, people are probably
But
listening,
Dynasty would be awesome.
Dynasty
too.
would be awesome, but
I didn't even think about that.
What am I talking about again?
Definitive.
Definitive. There's too many D products, bro.
How about Diamond?
I know.
Bring back Diamond football.
Well,
Definitive. I will. So Definitive football came out in 2015. They lost the license. They started putting it into baseball. Amazing product every single year. It's literally my favorite product, top 5 product every single year, even though it's baseball, which is my third sport. So not even just I'm excited for all the other products like most people are. for Topps to bring back with basketball, but definitive basketball could make it on that level of, I don't even want to say it, but possibly make it on the level of a National Treasures, dude.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. And, if I ranked the design, and this is me personally, everybody has other, ideas.
I think Diamond Icons is up there if you're going to say that.
But I was gonna go through the manufacturers, right? So I rate Upper Deck's look number
Exquisite, number one.
Number one. I'm just saying, like, they only have hockey and Goodwin and a couple things now, but, like, just the eye appeal of their cards, like Cup, number one. Number two would be Topps. Number three would be Panini. So Panini's number three, but they've had the basketball license. So now in my opinion, we get a number two now for basketball, right? Jumps right up above Panini. Is in terms of eye appeal for me.
Yeah.
Now, there is obviously some great Panini brands that I love, like Prism, National Treasures, Flawless.
Revolution.
Yeah, Revolution. There's some great brands, but I think there's just, like, more detail in some of Topps artists and what they put into the cards. I think for me, what I'm excited to see is 0304 tribute cards, like the 0304 design with newer players. I mean, I know this is way down the future, but you could do the 30th anniversary and 2033.
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? So you got about 8 years from now, or
You're
I'm
right,
sorry, you
dude.
got about
I didn't even
you
think
got
about that.
11 years from now. What am I doing? And you have the 30-year tribute. You could do the 96, 97 tributes
Oh
with
God,
Kobe.
yes.
Can you not do the 20-year?
You could do 20-year.
Won't have it in
Just
time.
go
right?
straight.
No, because they don't have
They
a
won't
license.
have
by
it in
then.
time.
Oh.
yeah.
They don't have a
yeah.
license.
2025.
25 years?
They could do 25
Yeah,
years.
they do 25.
That might be a little closer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. I'm actually the same. I flip-flop. I think Panini's design, I personally like it better than Topps's design. So
They're
I would
high.
go,
They're just
I would
like
go Upper Deck, Panini, Topps. NT, Immaculate, Flawless, Impeccable, Prism. Got a lot of bangers, man.
They do, and that's the. I know this is not what this show is about, but getting to that, like looking down the line in 2025. Obviously, if a deal doesn't come to with Fanatics and Panini, I'm gonna be sad with a lot of these brands that are not gonna be there anymore. But happy that we are gonna gain that Topps is still gonna be able to come back and do what they know how to do.
Well, my thing is, and this is what I would hope would happen, but who knows? It's business. It's cutthroat. You don't know how this stuff goes down. Is Panini's going to retain the collegiate license, so we've got to assume worst case scenario that we're still going to see National Treasures collegiate, Contenders collegiate, Prism collegiate, all those main brands collegiate, right? But I was like, okay, so Fanatics got Topps. They're going to basically take over that business. I mean, there's not an infinite amount of cards that they can produce. So what if they just sub the license and take like 25 or 30% of it, or whatever the amount is? I'm not a business guy when it comes to licensing, but they let Panini do their thing, but they just get the cut out of that, right? So
That would be ideal.
that's what I think it would be. Like, you have another company that's basically using the rights. You have control of what they put out, when they put it out, and how much they put out. But we're going to let you use the license. Keep doing your collegiate thing. We don't care, but we'll let you do, these main releases, but we're going to get a cut of it. I mean, it's only going to be good for the industry to have that kind of healthy competition going on, even though maybe Fanatics has to lease out the brand. That would be a perfect scenario for me if that's what happens, and then we have both brands, and it feels like it's back in the day before breaking, and we're getting all these high-end brands. I mean, if we could throw Upper Deck in the mix and let them make exquisite basketball once, that'd be awesome. But don't think
Michael
that's going to
Jordan
happen.
cards. I know LeBron. We might not ever get that ever again, man.
I know.
That's the sad part.
Get a Chrome LeBron auto or Logo Man or something. I mean, crazy. And that's the other thing, too, is when they get the NBA license, LeBron may not have cards anymore by then.
That's true.
Because LeBron won't, if he's not part of the NBA PA, they're not allowed to put cards of him out there. So that's
true.
something for you collectors to keep in mind, too, is that when LeBron retires.
LeBron's time is coming up for cards.
Yep. LeBron retires, he will not have any current cards anymore because he's under the Upper Deck umbrella, unless something happens with that. LeBron, that's why you don't see any more Michael Jordan cards, because he's under the Upper Deck umbrella. The NBA is not allowed, Panini is not allowed to use Michael Jordan because of that. But LeBron is part of the NBA PA, so that's why you still see cards of LeBron. So.
Yeah, so don't assume that you're going to be just getting LeBron base cards for the end of time or LeBron jersey cards for the end of time, because that's only true as long as he's still active in the NBA, right?
Correct. Yeah, and I think what year is he on? Year 17 now. So
yeah, and he wants to at least stay on until his son makes it into the league.
So maybe 3 more years, so they may catch the tail end of LeBron. Maybe we get one last year of LeBron Chrome.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get that Bronny LeBron dual
Chrome
card.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
Just hold out for that.
Yeah, just the one.
Or
time.
on a definitive dual patch auto.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, Upper Deck will probably well, that'd be the thing though. We'll definitely have LeBronny James Jr. cards.
Or dual
but
patch.
You got to think
Maybe
that-
just Bronny Jr. autos.
You got to think Bronny Jr. is going to go to Upper Deck.
Yeah.
unless
Oh
things
no,
change.
no.
Wow.
Yeah, he has to for the dual auto.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has to. Yeah, but a Bronny LeBron dual
We
logo
need-
man though, out of
we
maybe
need-
a Topps.
We need a
definitive. Who
Bronny
knows?
autograph for Panini, dude, or Tops.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody want to add anything on to this
Yeah,
Fanatics Topps deal?
I'll say one more thing. With Fanatics acquiring Tops, and we've been speculating for so long about what this is going to look like. We're starting to get a better picture now of what's going to be happening, right? Like I feel so much better that this deal has actually been done because there was so much unknown before, and at least now we know at least for baseball and all the other IPs that Topps owns, and also like hearing what the head of Fanatics what they're trying to do for the business, right? I'm starting to understand what they're going for a little bit more. Where like to me, it's like they're gonna produce cards like lower end stuff in bulk so that everybody can buy that, and then I think the high end stuff they're gonna make it even more limited. Actually,
Transcendent basketball.
they're gonna make it more limited so that the high end stuff will retain its value, and it is gonna be harder to get, and it's gonna be more expensive. But then they're gonna make like the low end stuff very available for people. So like now that I know we're gonna see Tops. Now that they have Tops, we're gonna start seeing within the next year or two. I mean, I expect business to be business as usual for the next year or two. But then I think Fanatics eventually, like you talked about a little earlier, they're gonna start implementing things that they feel will improve the business.
Well, and they may just keep business as usual and then try something new. Like, okay, this one's only going to be exclusive to here.
Yeah.
This one's only going to be exclusive to here. And they have some time to figure that out, and they're not in a huge rush to fail, and be up against it. They have a lot of time. Their investors know it's going to take some time before everything's going to be up to the green, right? Because it's going to be a little while because they're in the red right now by a lot.
The black.
Well, they're negative, right? Because they spent.
Well,
the
you're
money on it.
you're in the red when you're negative. You're in the black when you're positive.
Right. When they're in the green,
I know you think it would be green, but it's actually black.
in the black, yeah.
Because like
green to me.
from all the interviews that I've been listening to, it's like I've been trying to like dissect it a little bit. It's like they want to make cards available for people that want to buy cards, and obviously they want to get cards in the stadiums. They want to get cards to the masses,
To the shops.
right? To the shops as well. But they also don't want to. They're very like aware that overprinting is also an issue. So I think that's where the balance is going to be. They're gonna like Series 1. They're gonna print that probably to the death, like, and make that available everywhere. But then stuff like Definitive and Diamond Icons that maybe start becoming a little bit more lower numbered on that stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, if they want to do that, they better think about buying their own couple printing facilities because we already have a backlog
Exactly.
at the current printing facilities that the manufacturers,
I think
manufacturers use. So, if they want to print it to the moon, then they probably are going to need to get some infrastructure in their own printing facility to do
Yep.
that.
I mean, think about this. I mean, I just thought about what if they made card shop exclusives, breaker exclusives,
Now we're having fun.
retail exclusives. So say you come
And
up with some
and
products.
digital exclusive. I think
You know?
I think the
And Metaverse exclusives.
You could
I
do
think-
you
I
could do
think the
Series
biggest
1
category-
breaker exclusive.
I think the biggest category that they're probably going to try to grow out of the gate, and it's the most untapped, is going to be the digital market.
Yeah.
I think the digital market
NFTs. Yeah.
was going to be the first category that they're going to put a lot of resources into. The physical card market is there. We know there's a market for it. The digital market is still, I think, completely untapped.
You know, it does kind of suck for Topps is that they're waiting on this Wander Franco year because I think not that they had a bad year, but I think baseball was a little bit lackluster in terms of
For the
last
rookies,
year.
yeah, absolutely.
And now you got the guy that everybody's been watching for the last couple of years coming out and going to have some rookie cards. So not a bad idea to buy him now and get that Wander money.
I don't know if Wander is really going to. I mean, it's going to help with Series 1 if he's in there.
He's
Well,
gonna
he's gonna
help
have
he's gonna help
definitive,
drive the
yeah.
rookie market better than any of the rookies did last year.
I mean,
think.
assuming we have baseball and he comes out and he performs the way he would
Yeah, we should be concerned about the fact that there is no baseball right now.
Right. I was about to say, and this is sort of related to the Topps thing. How has any of this affected the 2022 releases? There's nothing.
I think it's business as usual.
Okay, because I just don't know what the player licenses, what the players' union agreements. I guess maybe those are separate agreements with Topps, so they have the ability to use both the player and the team. I really don't know because it sounds like a whole lot of nothing is happening right now in terms of the lockout.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, and there's also something else to note, which I kind of heard through the rumor mill, is that the way they made Bowman, and we'll get into this Wander Franco here in a minute, is the way that they made Bowman before. They were allowed to use the licensing but not pay the MLBPA for the licensing because of some grandfathered rule that happened long time ago. So now, I think since it's changed hands, that rule doesn't apply, and the MLBPA is going to be wanting their money on the logos for Bowman, which I believe they weren't getting it before. So we may see a restructured version of Bowman where it either has no logos or it's not the same, because what Topps is doing now is they're just paying each individual player rather than paying the PA for their likeness. So it's a lot cheaper to do it that way. To do it the way where they have to get profit sharing in the PA and stuff like that, a lot of the Bowman's Best or the Bowman Sterlings probably don't make sense. Maybe the Bowman flagship still makes sense from a profit standpoint. So that's something to follow, is the way that Bowman was produced prior to this deal. So something to follow along and see how they create Bowman. And that kind of ties into this next story where Beckett came out and said that this Wander Franco from Bowman's Best, was just released last week at the end of the year, last day of the year, is a rookie card. And the reason they're saying it's a rookie card, even though it doesn't have a rookie card logo, is because it is sequentially numbered with the base set. So, for example, Mike Trout's number 1, Fernando Tatis is number 2, all these vets are in there, and then the rookies are actually, as opposed to being numbered like TP1 or BB1 or BB Wander Franco, it's numbered inside the base set. So to complete your base set, you have to have Wander Franco in there. And because he doesn't have a card, they're considering this a rookie card now. So interesting. I don't know if it's just Beckett that decided this, if Topps and Bowman had something to do with this, if this is kind of what I just said, that the reason they're doing this now is because of the MLBPA. But these cards right here, the card on the screen here, the Bowman's Best base Wander Franco was going for $100. People were paying good money, more than they'd probably pay for a Series 1.
Absolutely.
For this Wander Franco Bowman's Best, which does not have the rookie card logo. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts, not only in the chat, but I want to start with Dan. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm going to make it real quick. I view a true rookie card needs to have the rookie card logo on it. That very black and white for me, like very straightforward. I wouldn't consider this Wander Franco a rookie card. I would consider it just a regular base card.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about the 52 mantle?
I should reiterate, modern cards. Modern cards need to have the rookie card logo on it to be considered a true rookie.
Yeah, I mean, there's even some, I think it's 93 SPX, which considered to be Jeter's rookie.
Yep.
But then he also has rookie cards in 1996 when I think he made his debut. So there's a lot of debate on that too, right? That which card came first.
You collect what you want. I mean, everybody's gonna have their own opinion. That is my opinion.
Good to know.
I'm not saying it's the right opinion. I'm not saying it's the wrong opinion. I'm saying it's my opinion.
No, your opinion's right.
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, how do I do it? How do I do it?
Vegas Dan.
It's good to know that these cards are selling for $100 right now. Yeah, so we put them to the side here.
Maybe sleeve them.
Yeah, because
Mag 'em up.
No, doing that this weekend.
I mean, I think they're already starting to trend down a little bit. They were 100.
As they will when more and more hits the market,
and people realize they're not short printed. But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I think I'm in the same camp as Dan. Like, if I'm gonna collect a Wander rookie, I'm gonna buy the Series 1. I'm gonna buy the Topps Chrome, and if I'm gonna buy Wander Ink, I'm going first Bowman. Right? And that's. See, I don't like the first Bowman base specifically. I'm not a first Bowman base guy. I'm a first Bowman auto guy. If I wanted to get Wander's rookie,
You're that
I want the Topps
old-timey
Chrome.
collector, man.
That's how we do it.
Old man collecting.
What do you think, Cody?
I'll echo what you guys are saying. If it doesn't have the rookie shield, I don't really consider it a rookie. I think that the moment that Series 1 comes out, this is going to lose some steam. I mean, it's a nice if you're looking to complete the Wander rookie year set, obviously, I think you should probably start here, but yeah, it's not the one to have. I also wonder what's a Wander rookie card out of Series 1 going to go for if this is already going for $100 on the secondary
question.
market. That's crazy to me. Like just a regular base Wander Series 1 rookie, it's going to probably go for the most we've seen
I think it's
ever.
I think it's gonna go for $100.
Yeah,
Well, but here's also
or possibly more.
Here's also the confusing thing is that if you get this slabbed, it's going to say 2021 Bowman's Best on it. If you get a Series 1 Wander Franco rookie, which has the shield on it, it's going to say 2022.
And that's where I think the distinction is going to come in down the road, where people are going to see that 2022 versus 2021 and
Well,
go, this is the true rookie.
We can talk
and
about
this
the
one's not.
13, 14 Chris Bryant as well.
Yeah,
So,
there's also that. There's also that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what makes good content, and that's what divides people in terms of what they decide to collect.
collect
but
what you want.
I think the rookie card for me has to stay within the same year. Once you start blurring the lines of having a rookie for more than 1 year, it's very confusing to me, and I don't like it.
It is interesting that they decided to do this for Bowman's Best this year.
But I don't think Topps did. I think Beckett did. I think Beckett said they're going to recognize it as a rookie card. So, I mean, I don't think anybody reads Beckett magazine anymore, but I guess it is digitally online. I think it's going to have a RC on the price guide. I think it's
Wow.
going to have an RC next to Wander Franco,
Okay.
which actually we can probably go to their checklist.
Why don't we carry Beckett in the shop?
Does anybody read anymore?
It's a good.
I kind of feel like if you walk into a shop and you see Beckett, I will get a little nostalgic. Like, oh, yeah, let me get that price guide, dude. How much is?
Yeah,
how
start
much
flipping
is-
through the pages.
Get some Beckett.
What's my 1994 Emma Smith Marshall Falk dual insert worth?
Those were the days, though. What's that price guide you have out there, Dan? You have an off-brand one.
Yeah, it's like a 1997. I don't know from Borders.
Nice. Yeah. That was the whole like we had a million grading companies back then. We had a million
Yep.
book companies.
Boy, there were a lot of throwbacks in that sentence. 1997, I got it at Borders. Hey, man, we're really going back.
Tell me how old you are without telling me how old you are.
There you go.
Literally on that one. So, and then last topic, we're still doing our best of 2021, and we're going to actually nominate the winners next week, so stay tuned for that. This is going to tie into another giveaway for you guys, and I wanted to announce the winner from last week's giveaway, Cody. Who do we got? Doug Caskey.
Ray DJ is our winner. Already been notified, so congratulations, Ray, on the prize.
I'll keep trying. I didn't win this time again.
I never win.
I got stuff.
I never win.
I got to create fake names. Put my dog in
I got
there.
third place in our fantasy league, so I won something. I think.
See, right, what spot did you get?
Dead last.
Let's not talk about it.
Dead last.
I think C-Rat thought it was the opposite. You had to go the other way. You had to lose every week to win.
No,
It was
he-
an automatic win if you played me every single week.
Nobody had a better reverse winning percentage than C-Rat, so
See, that's like,
congratulations.
I definitely locked up the first pick next year, right?
Well, you were playing and you didn't have guys in your lineup, and I benefited from that.
Yeah.
So I decided to not tell you after that because I was like, it wouldn't be fair to the next guy playing you if you.
No, I
you
did
put
that
your
on
lineup
purpose.
in.
I knew that once I lost those first 4 games, and I saw the guys that I had, like I just felt dejected once that whole Henry Ruggs situation happened. So I was like, this is gonna be a win dub for anybody that plays me. I'm gonna
Bye
keep
week.
it fair.
You should just put bye week.
I'm gonna keep it fair for everybody that plays me. That you're gonna get a win off
I
of
think
me.
how many wins do you have?
1.
I think they came from me probably.
I won once, and that was I think the first or second week, and that was it.
Might have beat me.
Yeah, congrats to Phil. I think got second. Shane got first. I
Oh,
believe
God,
I was.
Are you kidding me?
I believe I was 5th.
He rode the Joe Burrow hot streak in the last 2
And John
weeks.
Taylor.
And John
And
Taylor.
yeah, I'm never gonna claim that I was a good
surprised
fantasy
he
player
hasn't
because I'm
told
not.
me about it for like, the last week or so, or whenever the season ended.
He's been a humble winner. I'll give him that. I'll give him credit.
To you, maybe.
On a side note, I would like to know the percentages of fantasy owners that had Jonathan Taylor that won their league.
probably
Because
high.
I won my other league with Jonathan Taylor.
probably a high
This league
percentage.
was won by a Jonathan Taylor owner.
He smashed it, man.
So it's probably 40-50% of the owners
Yeah.
won with Jonathan
And
Taylor.
it was always gonna be a late pick guy too,
Yep,
right?
10th pick. Yep. I think Shane had the 10th or 11th pick, and I had the 10th pick in that draft. Because if I had the first 5 picks, I was going McCaffrey. Come on, I would never have
Man,
picked
the
Jonathan
first second running back you take generally never works out, dude. I feel like from what I've seen, is that true or no?
Top
Because
five
the one
usually.
year, the 1 year I played with other year that I played with you guys, I had the first pick and I picked freaking Leonard Fournette and it was the disaster. He got injured.
Yeah.
And that was my first pick.
It's just running backs are
I think
bipolar
I had
from year to
Nick
year.
Chubb, and he definitely wasn't the problem on my team.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, but it would have been great if
It
he had
would've
stayed
been.
healthy.
Yeah, he was
Literally
number
was the
one.
reason I was in first or second those first 8 weeks.
It feels like, I mean, that's how it should be anyways, right? It's like you never know with football. Like you don't know what injuries will come. You don't know how the games are going to play out. So that's what makes it fun, right? But I feel like the first, second running back, even though that's the smart move to get the guy that's highly touted, that's going to put up supposed to put up numbers that year, I feel like it doesn't work out.
And that's going to tie into our giveaway. Is going to be which player was on your fantasy team that made you want to collect his cards this year?
That's a
in
good
fantasy
question.
Football. So was there a player that you're like, I didn't even know about Jamar Chase, but he's lighting it up. I'm going to collect his cards now.
Yeah.
Because it does tie in. You know, a lot of us collect and play fantasy, and you see. I mean, I had Jamar Chase on one of my teams. I'm like, I'm trying to buy some of his cards. So, comment below on the Mojobreak Media video here that you're watching, or if you're listening on audio, pop over to our Mojobreak Media channel, hit that subscribe, and put that player below in the comments. We're gonna go give out $150 in group break credit, so you can get into a break and maybe hit your favorite fantasy guy. So last quick topic we got before we let you guys go is the best MLB products of 2021. After a long boardroom session of what the products were going to be, we narrowed it down to these 6, which is 2021 Triple Threads, 2021 Diamond Icons, 2021 Definitive, 2021 Bowman Sterling, 2021 Finest, and 2021 Bowman Chrome. So definitely some winners here. We'll go round about the room and make your case for who you think should win. And we'll start with Dan.
Oh, Diamond Icons is my jam. I thought the checklist was amazing. It seemed like every case that you would do, you would hit a banger.
Which wasn't the case 3 years ago.
No,
when it came
not
out.
at all. Not at all. It has actually been a product that's progressively gotten better.
Yeah.
So Diamond
I
Icon.
like how you use banger, dude. I like how it hit your vocabulary there.
Diamond Icon. A banger.
Let's see, Rad. What do you think? I know where you're going. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, I give props to Diamond Icons because it is at the level of Definitive now, for sure. Like they're of equal counterparts, I would say, in terms of like high end baseball. But my choice is always gonna be Definitive. I do prefer the designs a little bit more, and it's always such a fun rip, dude. But I will say, I know a lot of people's MVP product is Bowman. I know for a fact it's gonna be Bowman Chrome.
Yeah, and you took the words right out of my mouth. I think I was going into Bowman Chrome. I wasn't very excited about it because there was only a couple names I knew. And then once you start seeing all these hitters coming out, and I think it just really benefited from the season that they had the year before, maybe not being able to put those guys in the 2020 version of Bowman Chrome, which is very lackluster if you look at the checklist. So I think there's a lot of these guys that were probably slated to happen, couldn't maybe get them the cards because of what was going on in the world. And now they're in 2021 Bowman Chrome, and it's a pretty loaded checklist. It might be one that rivals the 2016 with Soto, Tatis, and Vlad. So that's my pick. And then lastly, Cody, who are you going with?
I think I'll also throw out Bowman Chrome. Like you said, loaded checklist, tons of guys, tons of great hits out of Bowman Chrome this year. They really did a great job. I did nominate Topps Finest as sort of a best value product.
Yeah.
I think that I liked the design. I liked the case hit. If you're looking for a value product that's got shiny chrome autos, I really don't think you can go wrong with Topps Finest. This is as good as it gets. But yeah, I think to kind of echo you guys, Bowman Chrome and Definitive are really, I think to me the MVPs.
Yeah. Yep, that pretty much sums it up. And I nominated Sterling just because of the 5 autos. It hovers around like a $400 to $300 retail, and you got chances of the big rookies. You got slim chances of Trout, but he's in there. But you got all the big-name prospects. They're on card. The design looked great this year. So, but I've always been a prospect guy, so my heart does go with the Bowman stuff. And Bowman Sterling was, one that used to be 18 autos. Now it's 5, so we'll settle for that. But the design this year was really great, really good for Bowman Sterling.
And we're gonna do worst products next week too with our our wrap up show.
Yeah, and then the worst autos in all of sports, which I think Dan is a nominee. He's on there for worst autograph
Probably.
in all of sports.
But it's about the value. It's about what it goes for on the secondary market.
Not
That
as
matters,
not as
all right.
bad as a certain Indianapolis Colts rookie quarterback that I pulled his auto the other day and went, "This is it. This is the worst auto."
No,
not only
I got somebody worse than
Not only that I seen this year, it may be one of the worst autos ever for me. You need a you need a microscope to see his auto. It's
You know what
harder
he's
to
talking about?
write
Yep.
his auto than it is to write a big fancy auto, I bet. Anyway,
Interesting.
just saying.
I guess we'll see you next week.
Yep. Well, that wraps up Hype 221, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Check out mojobreak.com for upcoming breaks. Hoops is coming out Friday, so that's a great value break for you basketball collectors. We got teams starting around $20, so make sure you hit the site there. Mojobreakshop.com is always running deals on wax, so head on over there, see if you can scoop up some pre-sale wax or some low-priced wax there. And after that, we got that's pretty much it. We'll see you guys next week on Hype. What? Oh, it's going to be 222 next week.
222
222.
for 2022.
Triple deuces.
Oh, wow. And for 2022. Check that out. Wow. All right. Well, maybe we should just postpone it to February 22nd.
Can we make it a special show and get cameos and stuff again?
We should. We should. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys next week on The Hype. Peace.